Hi guys, Squall here, and welcome to another episode of my playthrough of Expeditions. We have finished everything here on Little Colorado, so it is now time to leave and go and have a look at what's available on the next map. So back on the region selection, the next one along is Arizona. This is what we're going to go into. This is a much bigger map than Little Colorado. It's split into various pieces, and it's going to take some time to get through this lot, let me tell you that. So there's 4 regions to explore: Coconino, Wahweap Bay, Sonoran Desert, and Grand Canyon. It all begins here in the Grand Canyon. And one tip for you is up on free roam, though, we can actually see that there's 3 potential bases on this map that we can get. And that's true if you look at the other ones here. So you can see it shows you the 3 bases. But the first mission that you get unlocked is this one. It only shows you 1 base. So what it's telling you is you're only going to get 1 base to begin with, and there's 3 potential in total. So this mission is Conquest of the Frontier. It's quite easy, it says. 1.1 kilometers. Ravine is the terrain. Arizona's obviously very rocky, very canyony, with a kind of water features running through the lower levels, where it can get very muddy as well. It's saying that we need to take a scout vehicle. We did an anchor and a jack screw. We're going to get paid $2,700 with a payments bonus of $4,600. And we need to take a specialist, Mike the mechanic. He's actually quite handy, Mike. He's got some great features. We'll have a look in a second. And we'll get a heavy bull bar bumper upgrade when we complete it. So the next thing we need to do is decide what vehicles we're going to take into the Grand Canyon. And I think what we'll do is we'll jump into here and we'll maybe upgrade our scout vehicle. The Costco, or the Costco as I like to call it, is currently got a metal detector on top. We could leave that, but what I'd like to do is go into the customization and see if we can upgrade it. So we'll start here with the engine, and we've got a couple of engine options. Obviously, there's a fuel consumption differential between these two. That's given us a B+ in power to weight ratio, and that's given us an A, but this one has a B in strength, that one has a B-, and worse fuel efficiency. So, you know, it's horses for courses. We're going to have to carry more fuel if we take this one, but I think we will take this one, and we will sell that to get 1,000 back. Gearbox, instead of running the stock, I think what we'll do is we'll start to run the high range, which gives us a lovely set of ranged gears in the low end. When you go to low, it's now split into gradiated gearbox. We could take the off-road, but, you know, it's going to give us even worse fuel efficiency, so we'll sell that, and the high range is done. Next thing is the suspension. Currently running the stock kit. We can take the rock crawler kit. A fully reworked suspension kit for the otherwise impassable terrain provides incomparable suspension travel at the expense of ground clearance. You can see it is raised up quite a bit, which obviously makes the vehicle a bit more top-heavy, but more able to cope with things. Alternative to that is the lift kit. A suspension lift kit, good for venturing off-road, provides great ground clearance at the expense of suspension travel and stiffness. So this will take you from a B- strength to a B. This one will take you, no change effectively. So it actually makes the vehicle a bit stronger, and I think that's the one we'll go for instead of the rock crawler. Tyres. The default tyres that we have are these. These give us... I hate the camera on this, by the way. You can't seemingly zoom in or out very easily. Oh, there we go. No, that's the most I can zoom out. We've currently got rock, off-road and mud as good average. I think we can do better. So instead of that, we could increase the tyre width to 37-inch, or we can buy some off-road or some mud tyres. Now, these are seemingly the best. They do good, excellent, but they're 12 grand a pop. And we're running a bit of a budget here. So I think the best bet right now is probably something like the OS2, which sounds like an old IBM operating system. We can take good average for 5K, and then we can sell those and get back some money as well. That gives us back 7K, bizarrely. So we've actually got more money than we started with. Interesting upgrade. So that does the tyres. Winch. We definitely want the extended winch. Refund that. Snorkel, diff lock, we've already got. Snorkel, we can take a high-mounted snorkel for 6K. That's a straight 6K. Or we can just go for the extended for 4, which is pretty much almost as good. Not quite, but for 2 grand less for people on a budget, we could go cheap. But I like I think that's the down the middle So we'll go with that option. Miscellaneous. We've got stock fenders, emergency reserve, small. What we can do, this is like an internal storage on the vehicle. So for 5k with a, we don't get any money back for that. So for 5k, we will have increased the size of our internal fuel tanks. In other words, and our parts as well, I think. So we should have more fuel, have a bit more range, which would compensate for that extra engine that we just bought. We've got a stock bumper. We could stick on a spare wheel mount kit and chuck a wheel on the back, but we're on a budget, so I'm not going to bother. We could remove the metal detector and stick a roof rack on and slap some more fuel tanks and things. So I think that's what we're going to do with this. We'll get rid of, the metal detector. We'll put a roof rack on, and then what we'll do is we'll stick some extra fuel tanks like that, and then we'll stick some spare parts, because if we was to come across bridges and things, we will need spare parts to repair things, and a couple of fuel tanks there will help us with the distance, which is not so bad for this expedition, but for other ones it will greatly help. Now there's another little option we can do here. We've got the armoured bull bar, or the heavy armoured bull bar bumper. That's a tough word to say. We'll buy that, and that has also got an extra spot on the front that we can chuck a fuel tank. So a little fuel canister on the front as well, a few on the top, plenty of spare parts to fix things, and that's that. The only thing we need now is the jack screw and the anchor, which is required. And that's the only vehicle I'm going to take on this particular expedition. We'll then add Mike the mechanic, who is available. Actually, no, we unlock Mike the mechanic as part of the mission. But if you look what he does, he's really good, Mike. He will increase your anchor. So when you take an anchor, you've got 5 uses. With Mike, you'll get 10. And the radius that you can put that down is doubled. That is huge, and he only costs 600 credits, which sounds a lot, but a lot of the missions will easily cover that. And he also reduces damage to your truck, except the wheels, by 30%. So he's very handy to have. So it's a great unlock. Right, we've got what we need. Let's jump in. Well, here we are. We have spawned in the wonderful terrain of Arizona. It's a sunny day, obviously. It's Arizona. The sun is up. It doesn't really rain here, does it? Right, we obviously don't have watchtowers. It's not SnowRunner, so we're just going to have to go and explore, basically. We can see that we've got this base here, which has 100 litres, 200 parts, and a couple of wheels. There's also a couple of, well, 3, 4 upgrade points later that we can grab. But we don't have the cash for that kind of thing, so we will have to forego that for now. But straight away, what we need to do is head off down here and hit this flag, and that should tell us what to do next. Okay, so around the corner to another flag. Seems you don't have many options for leaving the base. Let's take a look around. That's not strictly true. You can get out of here in other ways, but I can show you that another time. For now, this is the way that it wants us to go. Okay, video game time. I need to play Pong and make this sit between the brackets. Here is a scary man with a large cricket bat. He's telling you to go this way. It seems safe. What do you do? Sorry, I thought I was playing an adventure game for a minute. Right, down the canyon. Look for a way down. Let's go. Yeah, so what he's basically saying is, if you see a totem pole with a guy with a paddle, trust in him, he knows the way. Because some friendly people obviously came this way before and worked out the best way around the terrain. Okay, we want to bounce over to the left. Oh, what I should have done while I was up there was get the binoculars out and see what I could see. For now, we'll just follow the terrain and see where it goes. Explore the area. Right, so it wants us to explore this area, and funnily enough, and you may or may not know this, but funnily enough, the drone actually counts towards the exploration, so that's in 63%. If I start flying around this, roughly in a circle around this thing, you can see the percentage is going up quite quickly, and it saves you from driving around. 23, Of course, we've got to stay within range for the drone. There is a specialist that you can get that will increase the drone radius, but we don't have it unlocked. So the question now is, what area did we not do? Possibly behind us. There we go. Right. Find a way up, it says. So it's now wanting us to go that way. So if we go with drop a little waypoint. Looks like a difficult climb if you lower your tire pressure. Right, so we'll just do that. So if we bring our tire pressure down, it will soften the tires. That makes it a bit better for going over rocks, but it does reduce your fuel efficiency. It also, if you drive too quickly with lower tire pressures, you do start to take damage. So it is something you have to remember to put back. It actually shows you bottom left there, just above the fuel gauge, next to the D-pad. It actually shows you what setting the tyres are currently on. There we go. Lovely jubbly right in the wall. Get to the top and we'll put the tyres pressures back. Now while we're here, we'll have a quick go with the binoculars. See if we can see anything. There's definitely an airdrop there. Base was up there. That's a climb which we came down. Okay, nothing there. Let's go down and have a look. It looks like it's leading us to an airdrop of sorts. Right. Slight ravine. I find this quite a capable scout vehicle. The tyres are not super grippy on rocks, but then that tends to happen in most of expeditions and SnowRunner. Rocks are really slippy. But at least they give you the ability to lower tyre pressures, which is nice. I'm going to try and stay out of that mud, I think. Okay, you've discovered a new airdrop. So what have we got? We've got another anchor. We've also got some equipment. We better take that. That's probably a quest item. Now, spare parts can be used and turned into items like the anchor, but you need a workshop to do it, so it's not worth recovering them. If we recover the anchor, we can basically use it on other things. I presume it's going to tell us what it wants us to do with that. And yes, indeed, it wants us to take it to here. Now, there's probably more than one way of getting there. There is a way, I think, across that way. Yeah. I reckon, because we want to do a bit of exploring as well, I reckon we should possibly go this way if we can. And that way we might see some sights around here. Try and ungrey this a little bit, because it is the only way we can realistically do it in this game. But it looks like the mission is to basically drop off an item. Okay, I am not liking the look of this, but I think we'll be okay. There's no trees around, so if I do tip over, we're going to have to use the anchor. Okay, we're good. It looks a lot scarier than it really is. Now then, how do we get up that bit? Right, we need to climb up this. There is a tree on the left. Let's lower the tyre pressure. And see if we can winch to that. We've got the extended winch, which is really helpful. With the normal winch, it may not have reached that. The sun is starting to turn reddish in the sky. Let's see if we can get this done before the sun sets. I need to zigzag up there somewhere. We may need anchors for this. I don't see any trees. This is where it'll get stuck. Right, let's try diff locking. No, that's no good. Did I not put the other gearbox on? Because I don't appear to have a split lower gear. Okay, we'll deploy the anchor. We've got a few of them. So this is the normal radius. With Mike around, it would actually be a lot further, but that should be enough for what we need. Let's get the winch. We'll actually select the rear of the vehicle, so it will continue to pull us up, even when we get up there, like that. There we go. That's that done. And then we just need to figure out... There's obviously that, but that looks pretty vertical. Let me just quickly get the drone. Nope, it's a no-fly zone. There's something about over this part of the map that just, for whatever reason, you're not allowed to use the drone. Which I assume is part of a story which we'll find out later. Maybe there's some, like, UFO interference or something. No, that's gonna tip. That's gonna tip. Right, can we... Let's put it here. Again, I'm gonna put it in low and diff lock it. Nasty. Very nasty terrain. Can we get it up there? I think I saw it go green. Oh, it's gone green here. Okay, maybe there then. It really doesn't want to go up here. Blimey. Right, we're going to have to let it come back a bit. Suddenly, the other direction seems a little bit more appealing. Yeah, possibly up that flat bit there might have worked out better than this. Seems like I've chosen the very difficult option. We are limited to anchor, so I need to be careful here. Okay, let's maybe try going back down and trying another approach. Alright, let's see if we can put an anchor up there. See if that helps us. Now the problem I find is that the anchor cable actually doesn't go around the rock as it would, you know, in real life. What it actually does is it clips through the rock, which kind of means you're not being pulled up as much as just being pulled into the rock, and that's one of the bigger problems with the physics as it currently works. I need to convince this thing to attach to that. There we go. Well, that was a barrel of laughs, wasn't it? Blimey. Okay, we're up the rocks, so we'll put the tires pressures back, get our fuel efficiency up. So I used quite a lot of anchors just on that bit. I could have backtracked and come this way, and it might have been easier. But I also wanted to do a bit of exploration and ungrey out this side, and it also is helpful just to understand. There's actually a bridge there that can be built, you see that? Interesting, so if it had gone that way, there was actually a bridge we could have built that would have taken us through there. That is why the route I chose is more difficult. There it is, you see it? Back there. Okay, I'm just going to nip back and rebuild that bridge, because if we want to come through here again, I don't want to have to deal with that hassle. Right, so we've got some supplies. It needs 75 to fix it. We've got 250 on board. And that produces a bridge. Now, some of the bridges can actually be upgraded more than once. That one doesn't look like it can. But there are other bridges that we'll meet later that you can put more supplies into and then make a bigger bridge, perhaps if you want to take some bigger vehicles through it. But anyway, let's get up towards the finish line here. And then we can hopefully hand this thing in, and we'll probably use the binoculars and see if we can spot anything before we go. Here we are. We're at the top. Back at the base, basically. And we can deliver the equipment box. Expedition complete. So, we took less than 200 damage, so we got an extra 500 for that. We've got 4,600. Get our rewards. We get our jack screws and our one anchor back because we used all of one. But we got a freebie, so effectively it was free to come back to us. It's resold those items for 1,350. So for a grand total of 6,450. Not a bad first effort. Right, so back on the Arizona map screen, we've now unlocked the next one, which is Squatter's Right. We'd like you to visit one of the remarkable places in the region. Unfortunately, not remarkable for its beauty, but on the contrary, it's a crashed, rusty plane that spoils local views and may further scare off tourists. We estimate the cost of its disposal, so it needs to be carefully examined. We have a requirement to bring a logistician specialist. We'll get 600, 2,900 as a payment. We must take a scout. And we will unlock the specialist operator, Kane Ishida. She, if I remember, does drone things. We'll also unlock the ability to make a workshop, which is the item that converts metal, scrap metal, into parts. We'll also unlock a fine-tuned gearbox and the West Outpost. If we crash less than, recover less than 3 times, we get 1,000. If we take less than 200 damage, we'll take 500. And if we recognise at 3 unknown points on the map, we'll get 1,000. So let's decide what we're going to take. We'll go into here. We have to take a logistician with us, which is this guy, Connor. So Connor will add an extra 100 litres of fuel and 200 repair points to the outpost, which is okay if we keep coming back here. He'll also improve our binocular vision by 150 metres, and he will mark hills and downhills when we're looking through the drone, through the binoculars or with the drone. So yeah, he's okay. But we have to take him. He's going to cost 500. We could, of course, take somebody else with us. We could take the mechanic, which would be very handy. But the amount we're being paid, you know, do we want to take Mike the mechanic, which will increase our anchor supply? I think on this particular mission we won't, but maybe on future ones we will. Now, let's go down to the... gone past it, the Costco. Let's have a quick look at the upgrades. The gearbox. I did purchase a high range, didn't I? I purchased the wrong one. I wanted the fine-tune one. Yeah, that's the one I wanted, so we'll ditch that. I wanted the fine-tune gearbox. I picked the wrong gearbox. I was wondering why I couldn't split the low gear, and that's why. So that will do for us. Inventory-wise, we will take with us an anchor, but I'm not going to bother with a jack screw. We don't get all of the money back when we come back and sell things, so I'm just going to go with the anchor for now and hope that we can cope without the jack screw. Fuel and supplies that we have, I'm quite happy with. That should tick all the boxes, so we can deploy. We can now deploy at the West Outpost, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to deploy... Oh, sorry, that's not the West Outpost at all. That's the field operation base. It confused me because it went to the west. We're going to get another base unlocked when we've done this mission. Okay, it's night time. I'm going to skip time. And what we'll do is we'll drive out to the other side. Maybe the west side. We'll have a little look to the west before we go out of here. Let's see if we can spot some stuff with our binoculars. So we'll have a look up here. Show task. There's a new task here. It's always good to see a fresh face around here. Why don't you show you around? It's easy to get lost if you're not familiar with the area, and I've been here forever. And we'll pay 6,800. So if we follow that for a second, we can see that it wants us to visit 3 places on the map. And if we just stop tracking that for a second, we can see that our expedition wants us to go to this waypoint here. So we'll mark that, and then we'll take new friends and track that, and then we'll highlight these on the map. We don't have a clue how we're going to get there yet, of course, but that doesn't matter. As long as we are waypointing in the right direction. It's going to be extra money in our pocket if we can pull it off. Right, so if we go this side, see what we can get on our visibility. Okay, right, binoculars. So first of all, there is a objective down there. Don't see much. Oh, stuff over here, look. Right, that's the aircraft, I think. That is a climb. And there's another climb there. Anything up here? Oh, hang on. No, that's all that over there. Let's have a quick flick over here. That might be out of range for us. Probably is. Anything that way? No. You can see, though, just how canyon-like this entire map is. It's absolutely crazy terrain. But that's been pretty useful. It's given us some ideas. So we just looked all around that area there. We've got an idea of what's going on over here now. So we can actually see from here that we could get to this thing probably by going that way, which would be this way. I think we saw the plane. Oh, there's the plane. We'll have to decide which way we want to go. The first waypoint is here. We'll probably have to do some stuff there, and then we can try and loop back and do the friends mission for extra cash. Right, so from here you can already see our goal. Look through your binoculars. Oh, it wanted me to use the binocs back there. I think we've already discovered what it wanted us to discover, but you can see that's where we're supposed to go next. This is for the expedition, not for the actual quest that we've currently got highlighted, which is new friends. Now, annoyingly in this game, you can only track one thing at a time. So you can either be doing your expedition, or you can be tracking a task, or you can be tracking an objective. And I personally find that to be quite restrictive. It will only highlight to you the one thing that you're tracking, which is somewhat frustrating. I kind of feel like you should either be able to track the expedition and an objective or a task. That would be useful. Or maybe something in the game that allows you to track more than one thing at a time. You know, some later mission that unlocks the ability to do that. Maybe it's in there that I don't know it yet. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm being unfair. But right now, I can only track one thing, and it is frustrating. So in order to stop, I have to stop tracking friends, which is this one. So stop tracking that. And then it shows the foothills, you can see. So now it highlights that in yellow. But I need to be careful. I don't want to finish this expedition too early, I want to do the other task before I leave the map. Looks like a place where you can go and get close to the plane. Right, start scanning. Okay, Pong time. This is the rusty plane, so we're taking a nice... getting some nice camera angles of it, so they can decide how much money it's going to cost to get rid of it. Personally, I don't think it's an eyesore. I think it should be a hotel. They should convert it into a hotel. Make millions. Someone is living in a crash plane, but where does he get his food? It's a very good question. Where does he get his food? Drive up to the cliff. Stage complete. Explore the area. Okay, so it wants us to explore this particular area here. So I think what we'll do is we'll drive more towards the middle-ish of the circle, and then we'll get the drone out. Well, I reckon the circle centre might be not there. Might be down here a bit. Let's try around here. And we'll get the drone out in a no-fly zone. Great stuff. Yeah, there's interference. Look, the interference is getting worse when we get over this way. That's an airdrop. I reckon that's what we're meant to find. It's something in that direction. Maybe it's like the minerals in the land. Maybe it's like a rich in iron or something. And it messes up the signal. Alright, let's drive over to this airdrop and see what it is. There was also something next to the plane, so we need to have a look at that as well. Okay, that's got 2 dino bones, which are worth money. And an anchor, so we'll have both of them. And we're on 68%. Which basically means I need to go over there somewhere. Yes, if you notice on the low gear now, I've got all this range of gears to play with, which is pretty cool. It means I can diff lock it and get through that mud, but still keep up a certain amount of speed. That is a steep drop. Power on. That's 73%. Oh, mate, you work for your supper with this one. Now, it just so happens, I think, that our new friends mission has waypoints not far away from here. So what we could actually do is, we just get rid of them for a second. We could perhaps go and try and get these two while we're here. Given where we currently are, I think maybe we'll go perhaps like that way, maybe? The alternative is up there, which is possibly doable. Looks pretty bad. It's up that way, I think. That's it. Let's see if we can pick up some of these before we finish off that quest, that expedition. Because we're on 84% on that. Ouch. Mind the gap. Yeah, crikey, that's quite bad, isn't it? Even with soft tyres, it doesn't want to know. Blimey. Yikes. That gap was what, 2 foot long? I completely got hold of the truck and wouldn't let it go. Aha! We have an airdrop. Stage completed. I think we may have done the expedition search point. What's in here? Okay, so we'll leave that stuff for now. I'm not too worried about scrap metal and stuff. At least we know what it is. It will show up on the mini-map. We can always look at the contents of it on the mini-map. Ouch. Good job we put that nice snorkel on there. Right then, we've got to go up and to the left, but I think it might be easier to go this way. Tire pressure's back up. Yeah, that's easier. You can't always get the detail from the mini-map. So we should be able to do these out of order. There you go. So that's the third one, or the second one. And I don't know what that is. Possibly a future outpost, looks like. Ooh, careful. This definitely looks like a trap. I knew it! I knew it! I was seriously considering putting an anchor there. I thought, I think I can probably squeeze through. But it was a full-on developer trap. There's one thing we know from playing SnowRunner, it's that the devs of these games are definitely sadistic people who love to put things in places to really ruin your day. And that gap, though, was just narrow enough to cause it to lean, and then the little rock they put, though, was enough to tip it over. And I should have put an anchor down. But I was trying to be cheap. Now, if I'd had Mike the mechanic, I'd have stuck an anchor down because he doubles our uses of the anchor. But when you've only got 5 anchors, you want to save it for a real problem. Okay, so we've got that. While we're up here, since it's got some lovely elevation. Oh my god, I only just stopped on time. While we're up here, it'd be a shame not to have a look around. The gateway to Waiwheat Bay, so that is going through to one of the other maps, which makes sense that that is probably an outpost. There's an airdrop over there. Is that a bridge that we've seen before? Might be the one that we built, actually. Yeah, it's gone really misty. Really, really misty. We are able to mark some stuff on the map, which is nice. Nothing on that centre island. Don't know if that's out of range. There's a weird graphical glitch when you zoom right out, though. Okay. So the only thing we need to do is we need to get to there, but on the way back, I want to have a quick look at that, because I know that there was an airdrop here as well, or whatever that is. If we stop tracking this a second, we can see that the expedition mission is to examine the wreck, so we've got to do something back here. So what I want to do, I think, is get this thing done. Can we go this way? Yes, we can. We can indeed go this way. If we go down there, we can climb up this bit, run along here. Let's get rid of that for now. Run along this, and then we will drop down to that, and then we'll come back around and do that, and that should complete the expedition, and we should get a nice pot of cash out of that, because we've managed to bundle an objective in there as well. I could go that way, but we take damage, and if you remember, there's a $1,000 bonus if you take less than 200 damage, so I'd rather not do that. Right, interestingly, as we climb up this little slope here, so we're just about to get onto that. Oh, I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? I've gone the wrong way. No, I'm not. I'm here. As we're about to get onto that ledge to go along here, there is a one of those signs that's pointing the way over there. Which is interesting because that's just water, so I'm not quite sure. And this is saying go left. Also, I need to top up on fuel. That's all the little canisters off the top there, so you can see that's given us 2 full runs. 2 full runs of fuel tank. Is that sign basically saying don't go this way? Is that what it's saying? I think it is saying keep left. Also, if we want to get up there, we're going to have to use that totem if we can. No visible attachment points. Interesting. We'll have to make our own. Okay, first thing we want to do is lower the tire pressures to that. Then we'll diff lock. And then we'll chuck an anchor down. So let's get the tires to bite. Can we put one further back? Okay, it's bugging out slightly. It doesn't want me to attach to the other winch point, which is annoying, so we'll have to try and make this one work for now. Let me try it again. Yeah, you can see I'm choosing a winch point, but it's not letting me choose the new anchor point. It does this sometimes, a weird bug that doesn't let you redeploy the winch. Oh, this is frustrating, isn't it? Okay, literally trying all through the night. I can't get up there because there's a winch bug that won't let me winch to the second anchor. Yeah, waste a lot of fuel. We're going to have to try and go this way if we can. Let's change the tire pressures back. A bit frustrating because that was totally doable. But sometimes the winch bugs out and it doesn't let you choose the anchor point destination, which is a bit weird. Anyway, we move on. Another developer trap has got me. However, I did manage to grab hold of a tree before I tipped over. This is where the jack screw comes in incredibly handy, by the way. Yeah, you see I still can't do it? I still can't choose this vehicle winch point. I can't say which particular winch point I want to use on that tree. Normally, you choose winch and you can say, right, I want that one. But it's just not doing it. There we go. Back on the wheels. It looks like there's a bridge build point down here, which is fine because we've got enough supplies for it. Let's drop the tyre pressure. So the danger now is because we've burnt a lot of fuel. Do we have enough to complete the expedition? Because we may have to recover back to base. There's another dev trap right here. We may have to recover back to base just to get some more fuel, but hopefully not. Okay, so 75 spare parts. We'll build a little bridge. Job's a good one. That would definitely make life easier. Because that would otherwise... If we came along here without all those spare parts on the roof, we could not build that bridge and we would really struggle to get over that. Let's see, we want to track the New Friends mission, which is just round the corner. Also notice that we've picked up some damage now. Bottom left, the one of the icons has gone a bit yellow. But we have the spare parts to fix that as well. So that's on 46%. We can use some to do that. I don't want to waste it, just in case we come across another bridge. So there you go, 6,800, and we've unlocked a new specialist, a manager called Zarima Abdurafieva. +1 free, whatever that is, minus 10% purchase price, plus 37. So she's pretty good. She's a manager and she can basically get you more profit. She negotiates better deals. So when you buy stuff, you get it slightly cheaper. And if you then leave the expedition with stuff, she gets you a better return price, basically is what she does. But obviously she has a cost just to bring her in. Right, so we're now back on the main mission, which is to get back here now. So let's try and work out which way to go. So I think simplistically, we are going through the valley and up. Right, New Sash Dried Up Gorge. We need high quality photographs of the Dried Up Gorge. That's going to have to be something that we take in a future episode. We'll come back and do that. We're not doing that today. We've got to finish this off. Definitely not the easiest of drives to this valley. There's some... where the water has gouged a low level, it leads to some very difficult challenges. With the wheels, one set of wheels always wants to dive into that valley and tip you over. There are some trees around, but it's certainly something to watch out for, that area. Alright, let's get up here and see if we can finish this off. Well, before we do that, I just want to quickly do this. Let's see what this is. It might be another task. Shooting wild. Great idea shooting wildlife series, but they need skilled operator to hang cameras in known habitats. Okay. So that's going to be probably visit somewhere, drop a bunch of cameras down on trees or something like that, like wildlife photography stuff. There you go. Expedition complete. Oof. So 2,900 sponsor payment. We recovered less than 3 times. We didn't actually recover any times. I think that should be like 500 less per recovered. So what I mean, so if I didn't recover any times, I would get 1,500. If I did it once, I get 1,000. If I did it twice, I get 500, etc. That should scale. Take less than 200 damage. Yeah, we did that. Payday is 2 dinosaur femurs, which sold. Now, you imagine if you just spent whatever that money is on that manager, she would get you an extra 30% on top of that dinosaur price. So that could be worth quite a bit more than her fee, but you have to know that you're going to be pulling dinosaur bones out, you know? But what you could do if you were smart is put the dinosaur bones back in your workshop and, you know, then get a manager. And then when you leave the expedition, she'll sell them. But anyway, that's taken some... That's brought our money up to 14 grand bonus. Let's just quickly see what it has unlocked on expeditions. So the next one it's unlocked is Fall from Heaven, which is a mission for the future. And that will have to be that for that episode. That was a tricky run, that was. There's some gotchas on the map there for sure, and I got bit by the winch bug. But we got a lot done. We got a chunk of change, and it's onward and upward for us. If you're enjoying the videos, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me comments. Let me know what you think, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care, guys, and happy trucking.